already started with Mescal.
You didn't answer your question at all.
Okay, I don't.
Alright y'all, first things first, you want to go ahead and open up Premiere Pro. Once you open up Premiere Pro, you want to go over here to your top left, hit New Project. Once you do that, you want to go ahead and title your project as, I'm going to say LL, just something simple. Once you do that, go ahead and click out of that box. You want to go ahead and find the folder where you have put your footage, whether that's on an SSD or hard drive or still on the camera. Once you locate it, go ahead and click on the folder. If you click on outside the footage and you drag, it'll highlight both clips and all the footage you want. Once you do that, go ahead and hit create. Alright, as you see, Premiere Pro has opened up its timeline and allowed us to see our footage is inside as well. Right now it's also in our timeline, which is this area right here. Anything you do to the footage will be affected right here, and whatever you cut or miss or take out will be reflected right here as well. As you see, the footage was transferred into two locations. You have it here on the timeline, and you also have it here on the media browser. The media browser is where you're allowed to store your footage or your assets that you're currently using in the project. And you can also organize them into bins. Let's go ahead and do that right now. So a good way to keep all your stuff in one place and know where everything is and not get things messed up is to create bins. To create a bin, you can either click right here on the folder and it'll create a bin. Let's go ahead and delete that. Or you can right click inside the box and hit new bin. Let's name this first bin footage. Alright, with that, you can come back up here, hit control, right click, and then drag and drop the footage into that bin. Now all your footage is in one location and you know where it's at. That is one way to import your footage. Another way to do it is if you already had a Premiere project open and you wanted to just upload the footage later. Let me go ahead and delete this for you. Alright, so you can also click right here where it says import media. You can double click right here in the middle, go to this place where your footage is saved. For me, it will be in tutorial. Let's go to edits, let's hit open. Select all the footage, hit open, and once again you see it's already in our media browser folder. Once again, go ahead and make your bin to keep everything organized, name it footage. And then once again go ahead and highlight both footage and then drag them into the box, and once again your footage is now organized. Another way you can do this as well is if you go to file, import, and you also go to the place where your footage is held at and you hit open, and it'll recreate the same effect. It will not show up in the bin. You still have to create the bin separately once you imported it. Alright, how to get your footage onto the timeline so you can see what you're looking at. To get your footage onto the timeline, all you have to do is click, drag, and drop. So let's go over this timeline bit for a little bit. On the very top where it says V1, V2, V3, you can associate the V with the video, and at the bottom it says A1, A2, A3. You can associate the A with the audio. So any audio tracks will always show up below this line, and all video tracks will show above this line. And if you scrub through right here, this is your cursor. Wherever you put this at, that is where you are in the video. So always remember that when you're making edits. If you drag through, you get to scrub through the whole video. If you need to get more major details and get real macro with it, you can use the sliders right here and drag, and it allows you to go super in detail into the clips to almost a second. If you zoom all the way out, it goes frame by frame sometimes. So that's always helpful. Of course, if you don't want to put all your, say that you have a really long clip and you don't want to drag that whole thing into your timeline, you can also use the source box. The source box allows you to preview your footage without it actually being in your timeline and affecting anything in the timeline, because sometimes that can cause a lot of long-term issues because you may import something in the wrong place and it may throw off everything else you've done. So a good way to check all your footage without any risk is to take the clip that you want to see and drag and drop right here. You want to make sure it's on source. In the source box, you can literally preview your real time. Because that clip is kind of loud, I'm going to go ahead and turn it down. And to do that, I'm going to use Audio Clip Mixer and drag this slider all the way down. Alright, and once I play it again, the volume will be way lower. So, say you want to just only take a certain part of this clip, what you can do is hit these cursors where it says mark in, scroll through or you want it to stop, hit this again and hit mark out. What that does is it only selects the highlighted section of that video, so you don't have to take the whole clip. Another shortcut for that would be, let me go ahead and clear these out real quick. Go to clear in and out, right click, clear in and out. You can also hit I where you want it to start, and then you can also hit O where you want it to end. And then once you're done, to get something from the source menu all the way to the timeline, you can do two things. You can either drag just the video by clicking on the film icon and dropping it into the timeline, or you can drag just the audio by dragging the audio icon and dropping it on the timeline. Another solution that also works is also very quick. One thing to make sure before I say this is wherever your cursor is, that is exactly where the footage is going to drop. So make sure you keep in mind where you're placing yourself before you hit this button. Another thing you can do is you can hit override or insert. Insert will literally put it in place of whatever's in between two other clips. Override will pretty much take over any clip that was in that current position and replace it with that clip. So to show you an example, I'm gonna hit insert. Boom. Wherever that cursor was, that's exactly where the clip landed. Well guys, that's the tutorial for today. You have learned how to import your footage, also learned how to look at the source menu, organize your footage into bins, and also how to upload footage onto your timeline. That's all for today. I hope this has been very helpful. If this has helped you today or you know somebody it will help, make sure you share. Also, if you're looking for more tutorials that can help you get started in your video editing career, make sure you comment, like, and subscribe on this video and stay tuned for the next one. Thanks guys.